So my name's George Prest, and I am Executive Creative Director of RGA in London, and I am on the digital marketing jury. I think we have to be incredibly mindful that D&AD is the most pure, most creative, hardest awards show in the world, and I think we're looking for work that we all feel jealous about, incredibly comfortable kind of awarding as the best work of the year. And I think it's really important that no piece of the work doesn't stand up. I think it's got to be beautifully thought through, beautifully crafted, and beautifully executed as well. I think digital in particular compels us to consider people as human beings, to develop insights on those people's lives, to assess kind of needs and wants of those people, and then to create work that meets those needs. I think digital especially, you can't just create work in a vacuum for your own sake, you know, or fetishize a particular piece of technology. The industry is shifting fast, I think, towards a point of view that means you have to absolutely understand people as human beings. And then I think at every stage of the execution you have to go back to those insights, back to that strategy, and make sure that you're not developing things that don't stand up to that and don't execute that. So that would be my advice. Branded apps are an incredibly difficult thing to do. I mean, there's just a whole world of evidence that says that people are not inclined to get involved in branded apps, and actually web-based services, responsively designed services, are a much more approachable, much better, much more efficient way of creating tools or utilities for people to use. I think it's been quite a lean year for digital, actually, and I think part of that is because digital is no longer really a standalone thing. It's part of everything that we do, and I think the industry is gradually moving to a place where we're no longer building products for brands out of digital. We're actually starting to build brands themselves out of a human-centric kind of digital point of view. So I guess the standout piece of work for me, I mean, there are a couple of lovely films which I think are always fantastic because they're entertaining people. The standout piece of work for me is probably the Prudential work that's coming out of America, which feels to me like the beginnings of a brand, a whole brand being built out of a digital-centric point of view.
Where do you see yourself in retirement? Where will you live? And what will your life be like? Have you ever stopped to really visualize it? Most people haven't. And yet, studies show that the more you try to picture your life in retirement, the more it can actually help you do a better job of planning for it. That's why we created Map My Retirement, the first ever tool that helps you visualize your retirement lifestyle. Map My Retirement uses detailed cost of living data to show you the cost of that lifestyle in over 300 cities, suburbs, and small towns all across America.
We have an integrated campaign section in digital, and I think that in particular has massive overlap with just what an integrated campaign is, and the very best ones that we're seeing are absolutely rooted in digital, but clearly have elements that move way beyond that. It's just digital kind of represents the core of that campaign. I think, you know, clearly that's the future, and maybe those categories might get amalgamated into one soon.